Greatest spectacle in racing, the Indianapolis 500 from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the 108th running of this race for the 2024 NTT Indycar Series season. And let's talk about this. So, we had a new deal for this season where Fox Tube TV takes over IndyCar races. They were originally over on NBS TV, now switching over to Fox Tube TV. And let's talk about Indianapolis. They have a lot of great shows coming. They got the Indy 500 tonight, and then they have NASCAR returning here for all three series in a few weeks. It's going to be exciting. Now let's talk about one rookie driver in particular in tonight's race. Urbane. He is going to attempt the 1,100-mile doubleheader, where a driver runs in the Indianapolis 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 for the NASCAR Cup Series, all in one day. Once he is done here, regardless if he crashes out early or if he takes the checkered flag on lap 200, he is headed to Charlotte Motor Speedway to hop in his Cup Series ride to take on 600 miles of remembrance around the Charlotte Motor Speedway, 400 total laps. All right, so let's talk about a little bit more about the 1,100-mile doubleheader. It is 600 total laps, 1,100 miles. 200 of those are done here in the Indy 500, 400 are done in the Coca-Cola 600. Let's lead that into our race analysis. We're going to go 200 laps, 500 miles. Field window about 50 laps. And now let's talk about tonight's race. So tonight's race is going to be different than every other race for IndyCar Series. To keep it at least somewhat worth watching tonight, because there's only one of us tonight, it will not be broken up into stages, but it will be broken up into parts. There will be 8 parts. All 8 parts will be 25 laps apiece. So after 25 laps, IndyCar will throw a competition caution, and after another and then we'll start part 2 after a 5-lap pace. So, in reality, Part 2 would start on lap 30 of 200. Part 2 concludes on lap 50. Part 3 starts on lap 53 and concludes on lap 75. Part 4 starts on lap 80 and will conclude on lap 100. And then after the first 100 laps, we have a 5-minute race break. And then we start part 5, which will be another 25 laps. It will start on lap 105 and conclude on lap 125. And then part 6 starts on lap 130, concludes on lap 150. Part 7 starts on lap 155 and concludes on lap 175. Then we have the final 25 laps, Part 8, starting on lap 180 and concluding on lap 200. And without further ado, let's get this Indianapolis 500 underway. So like we said, one driver. We're going to try our best to keep it worth watching. As he will be driving the number 16 Sprunk car here tonight. And then in the Coca-Cola 600, about an hour after this race concludes, right here on Fox Tube TV, he'll be racing the number 20 Sprunk Toyota Camry TRD. And he will be starting that race on the pole for the Coca-Cola 600, along with this one. And so basically, another thing is if this car touches the wall at all, it would be equivalent to another car on the track spinning out or crashing. So therefore, there will be caution for that. And then we'll just pretty much restart. So let's get it underway like we said. Gotta turn off this radio. 200 laps. 500 miles. Separates us from an Indycar, or from the winner of the greatest spectacle in racing. Here we go. The first 25 of 200 laps are underway. Oh, got a little loose there off of 2. And you see that they kind of slow down a little there, going into the turns. Let's get a look at we got multiple cameras to view tonight. This is the first person point of view. We'll ride around on this for a couple of laps. So, during the lap 50 competition caution, the lap 100 competition caution, the lap 150 competition caution, and sometime before lap 200, those will be when the cars pit. Welcome to the one viewer. We're going to try our best to keep it a little less boring for you. So instead of setting it to 99 laps and then having to guess how many laps we need to complete after that, we're just doing it in parts, kind of similar to stage racing in NASCAR. We're doing 8 parts, all 25 laps apiece, and that's how many it takes to get to the end of the 500. Because that would be 200 laps after 8 starts. Now, Irvine here, who clearly the leader, but he has sparked interest in running more races for IndyCar this season, and has even sparked interest in possibly running IndyCar and IMSA after he retires from NASCAR. At least full-time competition there. I would have loved to have done this on the IndyCar game, but oh wait. We didn't get that like we were supposed to. Oh, and we get our first caution of the day. As one of the cars has spun out. So remember, pace laps are 5 laps apiece. So we will be restarting with 16 to go in part 1. And for the very first time tonight, we're going to take you side by side here in the IndyCar series. You won't miss a thing. Caution out on lap 5. Very first of the race. You're watching the greatest spectacle in racing. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're going green next time by. Caution is out due to a lap 5 incident. Car was in the wall. He is back out on track. No major damage to that car. Like we said, pace laps are 5 laps apiece. This is how it will be at the end of the parts as well for the very first 5 laps of it. Lap 5 is when we will go green. And the best part about doing this race in GTA is you can see how long the race takes. And you can really just watch this video as well to see how long the race takes. Now, each and every time we complete this, we're just going to hit the replay button. Well, we didn't get to say it at the top of the broadcast because they weren't pacing. But ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet. This is the greatest spectacle in racing. And the Indianapolis 500 back underway. As we go back into that first-person camera view, these cars can't go nearly as fast as real-life Indy cars, but that's still a pretty decent amount of speed. If only we had an Indycar game, we could probably be going 180 right now. $15 to go. Already here in part 1. As we have completed 10 of 200 laps. 190 total to go in the race. And like we said, tune in later tonight right here on FoxTube TV. The Coca-Cola 600. Everybody looking to successfully complete the 1,100 mile doubleheader. And one thing he told me at the top of the broadcast is if he can win the Daytona 500 in his rookie year, he can win the greatest spectacle in racing his rookie year as well. And his goal is to win the race. And if he does that and then goes and wins the Coca-Cola 600, would be the first driver in league history to successfully do that, if it should play out that way, which obviously there's some things here, but we wanted to do this race so bad, and since Indycar screwed us with that game, I said I don't care if I'm the only one that does it. We're gonna do the Indianapolis 500. $111 miles an hour on that back straightaway. As you get... Oh, I'm trying to do the far... Well, whatever. I was going to do the far chase, but... Ooh, a little loose coming off of turn 1 there. We've already seen the first caution of the race. It came on lap 5. 11 to go here in part number 1. Oh, the car's in the wall. The car caught the wall. That's going to be the second caution of the race. Second caution of the Indy 500 is out. Just 5 laps after we went green. Again. Now they're just looking for some repairs here. And back out there he goes. Oh, okay, well, there's something unrealistic is gonna happen, guys. Because apparently we can't pit and just go back on the track. Well, I guess we can. We just have to go all the way back around. Ten laps to go. Oh, I actually like that, though. If we just skip that back to the last checkpoint, it actually fixes the car. And why are we going fast? I just remember we're under caution and we're sitting here going 100 miles an hour. Better slow down until lap 20. So we are under caution for the second time in this 500, both for incident. And just like we did on the first caution, we're going to take you side by side. You won't miss a thing. Be back in a couple laps. So we're only going to be green for at least 5 laps as we welcome you back to the Indy 500. Because the third caution will come out at the end of this 25 lap stretch. Whoops. Getting ready to go green. In fact, this is the 1 to go signal this time by. So it'll be a 5 to 6 lap green flag stretch here to the end of part number 1 of 8. This will complete the first 25 laps of the race. Now this time, Indycar is asking the driver to hold the lane they are in once they cross the start-finish line. So you see the 16 of Urbane was there on the top. That means he'll have to stay on the top at least until he crosses the start-finish line under the green flag, which we will be taking this time by. And here we go. Green flag back in the air. 500 back underway. Green, 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 green. Oh, we seen the 16 slide into the wall there. You can see Vinewood Hills in the background there. Even though Los Santos is not where Indianapolis is located. Welcome to the viewers. About to complete part 1 in the Indianapolis 500. We broke it up into parts to keep it at least somewhat entertaining. With cautions after the conclusion of each part, obviously excluding. Oh, I was gonna say obviously excluding the last 25 laps of the race. And man, the cars are in the wall like crazy. I tell you what, when Urban announced he was going to run the 1,100-mile doubleheader and unveiled his cars for it, ooh, little loose, the car completely sideways coming off of 4 there. But when he unveiled his 1,100-mile doubleheader cars and announced he was going to be running it, I was stoked for this race weekend. We got a NASCAR regular competing here in the Indy 500, and then he's going to go race in the Coca-Cola 600 later tonight, about an hour after this race concludes. It's gonna be a fun race weekend. For the final 3 laps, we're gonna take you into the first person cam. Final lap of this part, next time by. Final lap of this part, next time by. You hear the crew chief communications with the 16 crew. Now, the checkered flag will not wave. It will just be the caution flag that waves at the end of this part of the race as the leader comes back around to the start-finish line. After this lap, off turn 4 he comes, and 1 to go now here in this part. And now officially 175 to go in the entire race. We're about to be finished with part 1 here. The flag man obviously getting the caution flag ready. This will be the 3rd caution of the race. We have successfully completed the first 25 laps of the Indianapolis 500. And we're about ready to get part 2 of it, which takes us to lap 50 underway, but the caution flag waves, indicating the end of that part. Took 28 minutes 37 seconds for that part of the race due to 2 cautions in it, but we are under the 3rd caution. And I imagine maybe we'll see some pit stops, maybe we won't. But we're just going to hit the replay button and get right back at it. Remember, the first 5 laps are the pace laps leading back into the green flag. So in reality, it's only like 20 laps being ran under the green flag, but 25 total laps. Let's turn off the media player. Alright, here we go. Only thing that's going to get annoying is literally having to put the same color scheme on the car every time. But here we go. So like we said, this segment of the race will lead us to lap 50. And then we'll do another 25 to take us to lap 75. And it will continue like that until we completed 200 total laps. And we're going to take you side by side again. You won't miss a thing. The 16 crew in command of the Indy 500. About to be 25 laps into it. Welcome back to the 108th running of the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indianapolis 500 from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They are receiving the 1 to go signal this time by... So there's 1 lap to go before the green flag drops for part 2. Alright, who is ready for the green flag to redrop in the Indianapolis 500? When we make it through one of these segments, completely under the green? Or will we see another caution as they're back up into the gears? And we're back to green here in the greatest spectacle in racing. Green, 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 green. You get a look at the first person camera for the restart. "30 laps have been complete." And back into that other camera. And they're gonna throw the caution for that. So for the 4th time tonight, under the caution. Have to see what lap it was on. I believe it was lap number 8. It was actually lap 9. So we will be going back to green on lap number 14. And stay right here, you won't miss a thing. We're going to take you side by side. 34, something like that, laps, no. Well, whatever. 9 laps complete here in segment 2 of the Indy 500. I'm going to take you side by side, you won't miss a thing. Under caution for the 4th time. Welcome back to the Indy 500 here on Fox Tube TV. Closing in on the final stretch of this segment of the race. Then that would be 50 completed laps. Now this is the 1 to go signal, because they're going green this time by, so IndyCar has told the cars to get to a lane. Preferably the one that they crossed the start-finish line at. Now, it's based off of the 1 to go signal, what part of the track you're on when you cross for the 1 to go signal. And here we go. Now, Urban cannot move lanes until he crosses that start-finish line. And there he goes immediately to the bottom. Oh, and we're back under caution. On the restart, a car goes into the wall. Yikes. That is the 5th one today. Put it right into the wall, going into turn 1. Not what the flagman was hoping to see at all. Yeah, come on, man. I just threw the green flag. Now you gotta have me. Now I gotta throw the yellow back out. Some of the guys didn't even get across the start-finish line yet. Well, lap number 19, we will look forward to going back under green for hopefully more than a few feet. Welcome to the other viewer. We went back green and then yellow after just a few feet. Car into the turn 1 wall. "39 laps total, complete in the Indy 500. First time today we've had back-to-back cautions within a few laps of each other. We saw the green and the caution on the same lap. The next lap will be the 1 to go signal after we cross the start finish line. And like I said, hopefully we make it more than a few feet this time. And also remember, whether you're on the top or bottom, you must be where you're at when you cross the start finish line to take the 1 to go signal, and you must hold that line on the restart until you cross the start finish line. Otherwise, you have to do a pass through. Right now, they are good until they reach the start finish line. Looks like the 16 of Urbane's going to take this low side of the track here. Before this upcoming restart. Which we will take with 7 to go in the sector of the race. On the 1 to go signal, taking the green flag this time by in the Indy 500. Here they come to turn 3. And off turn 4, back to green we go. Will we make it more than a few feet this time? Only one way to find out. Seven laps to go in this sector. That means 43 laps have been completed total in the Indy 500. These guys really having fun out here today. And we are too. "45 laps total complete. 3 to go in this segment. Now, keep in mind, segments can end under the yellow flag. As there's 2 to go. And if the race should go to overtime, well, we just add. It would just be another 25 lap race. Hopefully it doesn't take that long, but you just add another 25 laps and then you go 2. Now, it is possible, if the caution comes out with 4 laps to go, to restart with 1 to go. That is possible. Alright. On lap 50 of 200 right now. Five cautions. Haven't had a restart since lap 19 of this segment. We're about to have another one as the 6th caution is getting ready to fly. As soon as this car makes its way back around to the start-finish line. The 16. Gonna bring him back to the caution flag again to end segment 2. And that is 50 laps of 200 complete in the Indy 500. Here, let's do another 25 to get it 75 completed. Still have yet to see a segment go green from the start to the end, but there will be a pit stop here under this caution this time. So 150 to go. Remember, the first 5 laps of each segment will be under the yellow flag. And here they come down pit road. Remember, the fuel window is 50 laps, so they have to pit now. And they hold for 20 seconds. Will we see a full segment go green from the start to the end? As we're a couple of laps away from the start of segment 3. Yeah, we're going to take you side by side. 50 laps into the 108th running of the Indianapolis 500, and the 16 in command of things. Getting ready for the segment 3 restart here, which will take us to lap 75 of 200. And these guys are on their feet as the first half of the race is almost complete. After this segment, we just have one more, and then we'll be 100 laps in. And then we'll have 4 more segments until the conclusion of this race. Off turn 4 they come, back up into the gears, and back to rolling here. Let's hope we make it more than a few feet on this restart. They decide to keep the race green here. Welcome to the other viewer. We're rolling here in the third segment, which takes us to lap 75. And they have decided to keep the race green again, despite that hitting the wall. And car's loose, making contact with the wall all over the track. And we're about to complete the... We actually just completed the 59th lap of the race. We got cars loose all over the track. And we're only 59 laps in. Now, during the race break, drivers are allowed to climb out of their car for the 5 minutes, but they need to be back within the final 2 minutes. Otherwise, they have to start at the rear. Not after this segment, but after the next segment that will be coming up. '61 complete. And why don't we grab a side-by-side? You won't miss a thing. First side-by-side under the green flag. And as we welcome you back, this is the first caution of the segment. We were hoping to stay side by side up until lap 15, but then the caution ended up coming out. So same as last segment, we will go return to the green flag on lap 19 of 25. We have 64 complete in the race total. This is the 7th caution of the race, as the number 34 car got up onto the wall there, completely on its side. His quest for an Indy 500 gonna be over. Now, we won't have to pit again after this segment. It's only if the driver wants to, as we now have 65 total laps complete. They won't have to pit again until after the next segment. Next time by will be the one to go signal. And we're going green next time by. Getting ready for the green flag. Heading down towards turn 3 now. And back to green we go. Another thing we haven't had yet is we haven't had a caution in the segment or force a late segment restart. And what I mean by a late segment restart is like from lap 20 to 25. Final push. The 8th caution will fly. Regardless if we make it to the end of this segment under the green, or if we throw the caution before that. Oh, there goes a car around. And that will bring the caution out. So this segment, Announcer's Curse, has gotten this segment. This will be the first segment to end under the caution flag. Three to go in the segment. And the 8th caution to end the segment is out now. Welcome to the other viewer. We found out Announcer's Curse is real. We said that a segment has not ended under the caution flag yet. And sure enough, this one is going to end under the caution flag. Two to go in the segment. Now, the crew chiefs are keeping up with officials to know when this segment will come to an end. Remember, the first 5 laps of the last 5 segments of this race. Same thing, first 5 will be pace. Well, actually, I guess we could do 2. Since if the last segment ends under caution, we'll just do 2 pace laps to kick off the next segment. So 2 pace laps to kick off next segment, which we'll go around once, come back around, take the 1 to go, and then go green. So lap 3 which will be lap 78, we will be taking the green flag on, but segment 3 complete, and that is 75 total laps complete in the Indianapolis 500. 125 to go. Same thing as always. The race is not over. Alright, so remember, we're starting with 2 pace laps since the last segment ended under caution. This is segment 4. This will take us to the race break, which after this segment will be a 5-minute race break. The drivers will be allowed to climb from their cars, but must within the 2-minute to go mark. And then the final 4 segments of the race will get underway. This is the 1 to go signal, so after the start-finish line, the driver will choose which lane they want for the restart. Remember, only 2 pace laps here, because the last segment ended under caution. Choosing the high side. And green flag this time by. This will take us to lap 100 of 200. What'd you say? Yeah, I'll take them. Put them up there. Oh, I'm an idiot because we were supposed to go green that time, so back up into the gears they go. Green flag. And caution. For the 9th or 10th time tonight. Have to sit there for 20 seconds. So lap 7 is when we will return to the green flag. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take you side by side. You won't miss a thing. One to go signal as we welcome you back to the greatest spectacle in racing here. Getting ready to return to the green flag after the caution came out. on the same exact lap we went green on to start the segment. Here we go, back to green. This time we got it right. Already on segment 4. Not going to be too much longer for the conclusion of the race. Once we get 100 in, and about 125 to 150 in, then the rest of it will just fly by. Drivers are being told that they'll pit at the race break. "16 laps to go here in segment 4. And 15 to go in segment 4. How about the first person cam again? And actually, for the final segment, it would make sense if we just made that 50 laps. So instead of doing all 25 laps, the final segment will just be 50 laps. So that means we got 2 segments of 25 left. Will we stay green for the rest of this segment? No, we won't, because that is a car into the wall, putting us under caution. So we will restart on lap 17. But until the 1 to go signal, we're going to take you side by side. You won't miss a thing. This is the 1 to go signal. Green flag next time by, which hopefully the rest of the segment will stay green. As we've seen it stay green, going back to green on lap 19 and 25 in segments 2 and 3. This one, though, we got a couple more laps than that one. And here we go. Get a look at the first person cam. This will be like this for the rest of the segment. Having so much fun up here in the FoxTube TV booth, and we're going to have even more fun watching that Coca-Cola 600 later tonight. Urban ready to get over there to Charlotte after he finishes up here. Hoping to complete all 1,100 miles in one day. Six laps to go from the race break. That means 94 of 100 laps are complete. And 5 to go now. Actually, it would probably just make more sense just to make both the last few segments of the races both 50 laps, so instead of doing 8 segments, we're only going to do 6 now. The next 2 will be 50 laps apiece to close out the race. This will be the 12th caution of the race. The end of this one. We're at the end of the segment. 2 to go here in segment 4. Alright, final lap before the race break. Lap 100. And even though that was a crash, just gonna take it to the end here. Alright, so the drivers will get 5 minutes to relax before climbing back into the cars to do the last 100. 100 laps are complete, halfway there in the Indy 500. We're gonna get things set up though for the next segment. And the only reason we're breaking them up into 50 is because you can only do a max of 99 laps. So it would literally be pointless doing 99 and then just one single lap. Just in case there's anybody who doesn't play GTA and doesn't wonder why we don't just do 100 laps and call it good. Now, for this break, Indycar will allow the cars to turn around from the racing line and go back to the entrance of pit road instead of having to go all the way around the track. So the cars will chill on pit road for 5 minutes. Now this is just to get them back to pit road, as they gotta do a pit stop. And then they'll get back out there after the race break. Alright, we'll see you in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Back with more after this short break. Okay, we'll have to start it back up. Got about 2 minutes left before the start of segment 5, which will be 50 laps. These last two segments, 50 laps each to close out the Indy 500. And without further ado, let's get them done. And then later tonight, an hour after the Indy 500 concludes, the Coca-Cola 600 goes green from Charlotte Motor Speedway in Charlotte, North Carolina. I want to see if the 1,100-mile doubleheader can be successfully completed tonight. It looks as if, though, it is on the way to being successfully completed, but only time will tell. And you got to get through the first race of the doubleheader first, and then you got to get through the second. Had to get the charger for the phone. Alright, here we go. Let's get the final 100 laps underway. Now, since the last segment did not end under caution, it will be 5 pace laps to start, as these cars are all full of fuel and tires. We have not had one segment go green for the entire segment yet. The caution laps at the beginning of the segment do not count as caution laps. And we'll grab a side-by-side break just before the 1 to go signal here. You won't miss a thing. Getting ready to start segment 5 of 6. Welcome back as we're reaching the 1 to go signal. This will take us to lap 150 of the race. And give me 1 sec. Alright, I must just be losing my mind. And here we go, back to green. Some cars decided to go late that time. You know what, we're gonna keep it green. getting down to the wire here in this race. This will take us to lap 150, and then there will be just 50 more laps. Yeah, we're keeping it green again. We're getting there to the viewers. We are going to go ahead and take a side-by-side. You won't miss a thing. Okay, now we gotta throw a caution for that. One to go signal here to go back to green. One segment remains after this one. 32 laps to go in this segment. Alright. Here we go, fans. Get on your feet. Just one more corner. Here we go. 31 laps to go in this segment. Get you a look at that first person cam. And we'll just keep it green. That was the 14th caution.